One up at the first. Here's Francesco Molinari on the first with a birdie putt. He had a 64 on the second day, 74 yesterday. Started the day 2 under par. He's now moved to 3 under. So this is how things stand out on the course at the moment. The leader's yet to go out, but Francesco Molinari has picked up a shot. He's now just 4 back from Kevin Kisner. Few others we haven't mentioned in the chasing pack. Patrick Reed, he's never finished in the top 10 in a major before. Could this be the one for him? Another couple of shots picked up by Robert Streb. He's now 1 under par. And Dustin Johnson, the world #1, he's had an excellent round today. He is clubhouse leader at this early stage. 4 under par today, level par from the championship, alongside Jordan Smith making his major debut this week. The young man from Bath. Level par for today, level par for the championship, 2 under for today, so a nice start for him. Jason Day's dropped a shot, he's back to level par for the day. And Ricky Fowler, he's 1 over par for the round today. Let's join him, he is out on the 4th.
Ricky Fowler it is, and he's level par. Thank you, Ellie and Ken, for that introduction and setting the scene. Oh, that was a bit of a fluke, wasn't it? That was a friendly little bounce, and there's got to be plenty of that today for the winner. I don't think the winner's going to go around and have much bad luck.
Well, Ailey was telling us that a nice 67 there by Dustin Johnson. Rory McIlroy is in with a 68 to finish the championship at +1.
Spieth, one of the favourites before the event began. He hasn't quite clicked into gear. I must say some of these pin positions to an old-timer like me look rather freakish, but you've got about half an acre of green and you only lose about 10 square feet. It doesn't seem very practical, but Ken explained it very well why they do it. That'll make it testing. That it certainly does. But nothing explosive. We haven't seen much explosive golf. Spieth is playing with Ian Poulter. Got off to a good start. Looking very pristine.
Yeah, it's nice to see Poulter coming back to a little bit of form. Struggled with a foot injury for such a long time. These players are on the 14th. It's the shortish par 4. Playing today 301 yards. Flag only 7 yards on.
Poulter was out in 33. Had a very good outward 9. Since then he's had 4 straight pars. Ricky Fowler for a birdie. Nice little bounce off the back of the bunker, which he won't have seen.
Now Jason Day probably still reeling from that ugly finish last night. Good birdie opportunity here on 5. One birdie, 1 bogey so far today. This to get into red figures. In she goes. That's a bit more like it.
Yeah, that really was a poor finish. Jason last night. Spieth now for a birdie. Yeah, well done. Big, dirty big 7 at the 7th slowed him down. Gladiators walking onto the first tee, or is it the practice ground? Could be. Oh, it's the first tee. They'll join us in a minute.
Now to the tall Englishman who's playing the 7th. This is one of the holes that has yielded something to the players over the course of the week. There have been several eagles. That might not be too bad.
That looked like Schwarzel. Yeah, lovely easy swing. Thought he'd go well this week. He's got a lovely game. Everything sort of clicks into gear, but it hasn't been quite his moment. 4 over, getting towards the end of his championship. Oh, beauty. Unlucky. Green softened up a bit. Sometimes they stop like that, and sometimes they get a hop forward and go to the back of the green.
I had a basin full of watching this guy at Port Stewart a few weeks ago as he absolutely blitzed the field in the Irish Open. Not having such a good day today. He's 5 over. He was 3 over for today. 3 bogeys, no birdies so far. That makes him 6 over total. Oh, just burns the edge. You really have to take your chances on the 3 par 5s and the 2 drivable par 4s. That's where you've got to build your score. And then a lot of it, the rest of it, is hanging on as we go to Fowler on the 5th. Flag over on the right half.
Yeah, another good shot. It is very muggy, very humid. See that ball just drifting up. As Ken was saying, how the flags are placed in certain areas that look very easy, but there are little hollows, and that's, well, you can see the spin on it. It's gone off the green, and it leaves you with just a tested little shot. Out on the practice ground.
This is Justin Thomas. That's his dad on the left-hand side of the screen. His coach, Mike, the only coach he's ever had.
Oh, here we go. Nothing like cooling your titties on a hot day. Kokrak's lucky to stay on the bank. That was his tee shot. Now he thumps it up the fairway. He's done very well indeed. Very well.
Little tester left for Ram. Something's disturbed him. To Fowler. Unfortunate with that second shot. Just didn't quite tease it down the hill enough. And after a lovely second, he's now struggling not to drop a shot.
Ram hoping to polish this one off, which he does. Out in 37. Had one more drop shot coming home. He's sort of heading for a 73, 74.
Graham Dillette, the Canadian who had such a blistering round yesterday. He had an absolutely stunning run of 4 holes in the back 9 yesterday. Birdie, eagle, eagle, birdie.
A Fowler. Well, thank goodness for him, he saved it. He got his par 4. He wasn't far off the green in 2. Yeah, Fowler having a cut at it. Upright figure. Not the biggest of hitters, long enough. When he strains and tries to hit too far, that's when he gets a bit wayward. That looked a good shot. Oh, unlucky. Straight in the bunker. Oh, for another couple of yards.
Gary Woodland just easing into his round. Oh, and that's the way to ease into it. Opened with a par 4. Hoping to pick one up here.
Now Poulter from the bunker. Good lie. Usually a nice bunker. Oh, there are very few poor bunker players now on the circuit. Wherever you go in the world. Years ago there were a handful, maybe a dozen who were good, considered good. Oh, I mean, it looks so simple. Delightful.
Right, has Spieth. No, I thought at first he might consider putting that one, but he's a bit of a magician with the old wedges. Jabs that in. Lovely little bit of check. Every time he's that close to the hole, you always feel that he's going to be able to hold it.
Hits it very firm and very sharp. It's a great skill in being able to do that and impart backspin. Once again, we've got great crowds here. You'll see as the program goes on, they're everywhere, about 25, 30,000. But I'm afraid to say the golf has, for whatever reason, not been sparkling. For those of you that have watched the Masters and the Open Championship, there are bursts of energy and excitement. Not seen much of that. We've seen a few dramas and mishaps, so that's taken the place of exciting play.
Now, quite a long effort. This is just one where you want to find your range, get the feel of the greens for the day. And that's just a perfect opening putt there from Graham Dillette.
Woodland, after that lovely shot into the green, gets a birdie. .68 players have gone off the first so far, and only 12 birdies.
Spieth birdied the last. And he birdies this one, and that's 3 birdies in his last 4 holes, trying to make amends for that double bogey 7 he took on the 7th.
That's Ayuba coming down over the bridge, over the rickety bridge. Mr. Troll waiting. No, he's not. Tiptoed down very nicely.
Now after that remarkable one out of the brook, Cockrack just coming up shy. They have a long driving championship every year at the PGA, and he was the winner this year. So this is a little look back at some of the agonies and hopefully some of the ecstasies from yesterday. It's been said it's such a difficult test. It's a very good thing to just try and hoover up your pars. A lot of gritted teeth. And there we are, Kevin Kisner. The butterflies will be jumping about. That's local time, of course. Hideki Matsuyama, we've seen just making his way to the first tee. And out of the top 15 players on the leaderboard after the 3rd round, 14 of them had never won a major.
Brian Harman, now he's been playing some good stuff on the regular tour over here for the last couple of months. He's a very small fella, or a man of average height, shall we say. And he's cracked one out into the middle of the green. A nice looking player.
Well holed by Ben Ann. He's level par for today, +1 for the championship.
Ram is... John has been a bit wayward today, but I don't know whether he's had a drop or whether it ended there. If it ended there, he's lucky. Oh, that's ended up a majestic shot. Gave the natives something to applaud there. That was a cracking blow from the hospitality area.
Now Chris Wood left himself a little pitch here at this 344-yard par 4 8th. This was one of the flags that Ken was talking about. It's up on that back left-hand ledge. It's like trying to land it on an ironing board. Oh, now just sit there. Oh, that's beautifully done.
Mark Leishman from Australia. Plays around the world. Good player too. He's had some good results. Remember, he was in a playoff for the Open Championship not a handful of years ago. Good mixed bag that was. Ernie Els and him and a Frenchman and all sorts of United Nation folk. Here's Cantley.
Young American player. And nicely holed. He went out in 36, so he dropped a shot. He's had 3 pars to start his back 9.
Zach Johnson. That trusty old putter of his. He's had it for years and years. It's going all sorts of ways, that. Just slid across at the death. Steady performer, Johnson. Steve Stricker. A lot of people have been playing with this little pretty open ditch that runs a stream, I'm sure, a babbling brook. It's running, and it's very close to the 18th green. Here's the scene at the first.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2:35 starting time. Now on the tee, from Japan, Hideki Matsuyama.
How refreshing to see a lady starter. That's progress. And so is this. It'll be very interesting. Although he's won several times on the PGA over here, just a little bit of extra pressure because it's a major. Everyone tells you how important it is. Forget making a living. This is the thing that's going to change your life. Well, we'll see. We'll follow his progress all the way. Slowly back. Come on. See that pause, and then he fizzes through. And that looks a very good opening tee shot from Matsuyama. It won't reach the bunker, I don't think. Well, he may not be considered one of the greats yet, but my word, he's had his moments.
From Goshen, Kentucky, Justin Thomas.
Matsuyama, it's a face that means business.
Well, that puts Matsuyama to 4 under.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, great round from Matsuyama.
Certainly got the game for it. We'll have to see how it works out. So is this young fella, Justin Thomas. Only 12, 13 birdies so far at this opening hole. Oh, stop. Oh, he just is tad unlucky. If it's a decent lie, he can possibly reach the green from there.
Louis Oosthuizen still wearing the strapping after yesterday's tangle with a tree root. That's not what he was looking for. Dropping a shot in his opening hole.
Well, he won't know it, but many have done that already today. It looks fairly straightforward, but it ain't.
And here's Molinari on the fourth. This is where the flag is set in that little basin, the front left-hand corner of the green. That might not be too bad a place. He'll have a chip right up the little chute.
Looks like Patrick Reed. Yes, it is. Flips it up. Bouncy, runny. That's not bad, is it? But look at it go. Look at it. I thought that was stone bonkers, and look at it now, 10, 12 feet past.
Well, that bogey we saw for Louis Oosthuizen on the first a few minutes ago moves him a shot back. He's now 3 off the lead of Kevin Kisner, who heads out very shortly to see if he can win his first major of his career. Francesco Molinari, that birdie at the first. Gary Woodland, a birdie. They're moving in the right direction. Jason Day, he's picked up another shot. He's back to 1 under par, but round of the day was Dustin Johnson with that 4 under par round to move him to level par.
Well, the leaders have just about all gone out. Just a couple of matches, or 1 match left to drive off the first tee. And so far, Dustin Johnson's coming with a 67, but he's too far back to really any great move up the table. Graham Dillette. This is what happens. I don't know why it's the pace, the grain, whatever it is, but they haven't got the pace of the greens at all. Jordan Spieth now 2 over. What's funny about that?
I mean, it just throws it down.
Oh, it's
It's
not too
nothing
bad.
I could do, bud.
Always a running
Here it
commentary
comes.
with Jordan when he's on the green.
Hit a perfect shot, and then you just have to...
Well, he wasn't impressed, was he? Now Molinari on the fourth. Pin in a little gully. I think they put it in a pretty good place there to have a go at it.
Now this is where the drive of Matsuyama finished on the very first hole. Now you're looking down the hill. It's a big, or looks a big expanse. All it calls for is one clean, straight hit from the high ground to the low. Receptive green, narrowish target. He's taking a little longer than normal. Whether that's intentional or a new routine, I don't know. But whatever it is, it ain't bad.
Yes, it can be difficult, Peter, to think clearly in a major, can't it? We saw Jason Day last night. That was not thinking clearly.
No, that was bordering on ridiculous. The final pair making their way over the bridge. Kisner and Stroud, 2 American players, but this is up ahead. Justin Thomas in the bunker with his tee shot. I think he can certainly get there if he makes a clean hit. No, he just tugged it a wee bit. Struggling to get off to a par start.
Kisner off in a few minutes with Stroud. Everyone else underway. Nothing awesome happening in the first few holes, but the first few weren't that easy yesterday. A lot of bogeys at 1. It's when you hit 7 the players start to make birdies. The drivable 8th, par 5 10th, drivable 14, 15. That's the birdie zone on this course.
Schwartzel at the 17th for a par. This is a very dangerous short hole. Yes, he's done it. Oh. A sigh of relief there. That's a very good escape.
Brian Harman played so well at the US Open, of course. Not the biggest hitter, yet he did well at Erin Hills and doing well again here. So he can certainly cope with a big course.
See how they rolled to the edge of the green. And just stopped in the longer grass. Mark Leishman. Yes. And then he's on form. He looks very, very, very good. And then, well, he just dribbles away. 68, good score. That's only, what, the third round under par of those that have finished so far.
Now Brooks Koepka, US Open champion. It's a nice rhythmical stroke. Straight in.
Now Jordan Smith from the old country, who has suddenly come through and shown some good form. I don't know why it's taken him a fair time, but he is a good-looking player. He's got everything to go to the very top of the tree, I think. Got a game, a personality, which that could be an off-cut, those trousers. How fascinating. He's dressed for the occasion. Let's hope his game's up to scratch. Looking for a slider, left to right. Overdone.
What a lie, though, possibly. Sitting up like a coconut there. That could be a very good break off a weak tee shot.
So they're all away for this year's PGA Championship.
Pulled left out of the fairway bunker just in time. Oh my goodness. Well, what a shocking start. He's been on 3 beaches and 450 yards.
Have another go. Oh, this is a very shaky start after so much promise on the first tee. He'd like to go back and start again.
Yeah, you could see his confidence was low on that last bunker shot. It was just a heave-ho. For bogey, this would be a major result. Oh, well done. That's resilience. And that will feel a pretty solid start. He can regroup after that. A 6 would have been really, really hard to take, but, well, bogey, not the end of the world.
Well, now, Jordan Spieth, let's see you get down in 2 from here. Monster putt, cricket pitch length, more perhaps. Coming up the left, take a bit of a leg break, or is it off break? I don't know. Oh no, what? A bit too late. Not bad.
For birdie, Matsuyama at the first to join Kisner at 7 under.
Oh, what a chance miss. Now that can get in the back of your brain. You have to forget about that. You got to forget it if you can. That's one of the most difficult things to do. It looked good. It just wandered off.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad putt, was it?
No,
Just misread
no,
it.
it wasn't at all.
Gustafsson, bogey at the first. And well, it's edging closer. I thought it was way short, but not too bad. See all those little yellow things? I think it's where they fill the pitch marks with a little bit of sand.
Spieth, after that huge long putt, this for a par, and he's done it again. Mark Leishman's in with the 67 at the same as Dustin Johnson. That's only 4 under par. Par here 71, which is a bit silly really. It's about 8 miles long round the course, and they've got about 4 holes well over 500 yards that they say are par 4s, so I don't know what the point is of that, but there we are.
Yeah, 7,494 yards.
This was Leishman finishing up on the last hole. Just a repeat of that shot that he knocked in. 75, 71, 71, 67. Level par, that's good scoring, equivalent 471s. Good round. Good score.
Yeah, pictures from our American broadcasting hosts. If you wonder why there's the odd repeat, they have their reasons. Now Grayson Murray for his birdie. Par start, and it's in. Good start for Murray. He moves to 4 under. I don't think I remember 4 days with so little wind, Peter. It's been unbelievable.
Yes, well, this thundery weather's around. It's been very ominous. Now Matsuyama, second tee. Parred the hole every time so far. Very interesting swing. Balance. He's pointing the trees on the left. Nobody shouted 4, and it's rather weakly. He did this yesterday and got away with it time and time again, either with good shots to the green or a hole putt. Very shaky stuff, but it's early days.
Looking down on Stroud, he's not quite blocked out, but he may need to just edge it left to right a little. It's not the easiest thing out of the rough, but it's sitting really well, and he's just put a little bit of fade on it. That was very well played, but just coming out hot. So he's got work to do on the first.
Kisner, championship leader, eyeing over his second shot. Yeah, good shot. Oh, what a beauty. Lovely start, but so did Matsuyama have a good start. If you don't hold the putt, you don't capitalise.
From Matsuyama to Kadira. Up the slope. Into the grain, and then past the hole it's down grain. Looks like the 8th, no information. Yes, it is the 8th. And up to 18.
Schwarzel for a par. He's been in trouble, obviously. And that's a drop shot. The 1st and the 18th, we've seen a tremendous amount of drop shots. Flag has been up at the front of the screen most days, or middle. Now they've got it pretty well on the back end. 73.
Playing with Bryson DeChambeau. He shot a 71. Oh, they're great, those things. They put them on the edges of greens in some events in the States. Here they're pampering the spectators.
It's mist. It's like being in a gentle hurricane with very fine rain. Well, the weather here has been changing. There have been threats of thunder. Rishi's been talking to someone who's got a bit of inside information.
Well, the weather has been a hot topic here at Quail Hollow, and the on-site meteorologist Brad Nelson is with me. Brad, I guess your services have been called into service a lot this week.
Yes, sir. It's been a very busy week, obviously, but we knew this coming in. It was going to be hot, it was going to be humid, and we were going to have showers and thunderstorms around. So thankfully, we've dodged the worst of the weather. We had the one delay on Friday, but overall, I'd say everyone's pretty happy with how things are going.
So what is the weather forecast for the final day? Will we get a thunderstorm, an electrical storm?
Well, we'll have them in the area, that is correct. And the greater instability and moisture is actually to our east and our south today. But it's still, it's still hot, it's still humid. We're going to have that feels like temperature up near 37 Celsius. So we'll have a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms, very typical of summer weather around here. And it's only if we can skirt by, dodge one or two of those, and then we'll be perfectly fine. Right now, it looks like after 8 p.m. this evening, we will have the greatest chance of thunderstorms.
So the chances of us having a delay long enough to cause real problems are reducing as the day goes on?
I would say they have reduced today from how the forecast looked leading up to it. We still have that chance. Right now, I'd say it's fairly low, but it's one of those things where we can play through some rain as long as it passes quickly and there is no lightning threat. If there's a lightning risk, then obviously we're going to have to halt play.
The one thing a lot of players spoke about on day 3 was the humidity, and I understand today it's going to be even more humid than it was yesterday.
It is. It's actually just as humid, but the cloud cover is really helping us today. So we had a feels like temperature of 39 Celsius yesterday, so 37 today, just a few degrees cooler. But you notice every time the sun comes out, it is extremely hot. But the cloud cover, I think, is really helping things today.
Right, thank you very much for explaining all that to us, and hopefully things will be nice and calm for you today.
Yes, sir. Hopefully I can kick back and watch an exciting finish. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect.
Kick back? He's supposed to be concentrating on his job. Unbelievable.
They're the boys under the umbrellas. A few burnt knees today. 37, 39. What's that in old money? Double it and add 30. God, it's 100. Ricky Fowler. Tiptoeing down towards the hole. No. I think we may well, if nobody's going to do something exotic and 65-4 sort of thing, we might well have a playoff here. Nobody really enjoys the playoffs, but Reed putts, Reed holes. Does he? Yes. Lovely pace down the slope. Par, bogey, birdie, level, 2 under.
Gradually coming back to form, Reed. He's had a fairly miserable year. Now, I think this is the second, looking back, yeah. Matsuyama hit it left off the tee. But he looks to have gone under the trees.
Line-wise, I mean, pretty much out of it.
That's a good break again, Mark. I mean, he was heading into the woods, must have flipped some branches and just stopped on the edge of the fairway.
Yeah.
He's obviously got a shot to the green. And this fella did very well to only drop one shot on the first. Justin Thomas didn't play the hole very well at all. 186 yards to go. See, in the old days, that'd be sort of 6-5, 6 iron. I don't know what they take today. Maybe a 7.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely get there with 7. Especially at this temperature. The modern ball goes huge distances when it gets hot, and really doesn't go at all if you're playing in 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Taking an awful long time to assess what to do. Good strike. Well, Matsuyama's well up the fairway. Perhaps he's already played from under the trees. That's a very good shot into the green.
Yeah, maybe he has played two. Yeah, we go ahead to, or back rather, to Chris Stroud. That flyer from the right rough. It's now going down grain, but will it have the pace? No.
Greens here are pretty big. Indeed, they are big. And when you tuck the flags in the corners, it makes it very true. Matsuyama, this must be his second shot. Unless he was just stab it out a few yards. No, it's his second shot. Big drive, too. Wonder what's going to happen when this ball lands on the green, whether it bounces or stops. Oh, he didn't hit the green, but that's not bad. If he gets a 4, he should feel fortunate.
Birdie for Dillette. Offset the bogey at the second, so remains 2 under how he started.
Chris Stroud. No. Shot dropped.
Wicked hole today, 221 yards. The pin back tight to the water. Oh, and Spieth hitting a fairly feeble iron shot. And that's a tough putt along the ridge and along the split line in the grain. So a really nasty one. Well, like Matsuyama, he squanders a pretty good chance. Well, squanders a bit harsh. Fails to convert, probably be fairer. It's very, very studious, and same in all the interviews, Kisner. Will he be able to keep a clear thinking head as this round progresses? He's playing better than anyone else from tee to green. Well, it's only 18 inches, but he's taking no chances. Well, a solid start, 2 good shots. We had a slash at that second shot out of the rough. It went way high and just wandered left, a big flying flight. Now just a little nudge with a sand wedge. A little bit of left to right. Oh no, that was terrible. Patrick Reed hits. I'm joined. Oh, nearly holes. I'm joined by Ken Brown.
Thank you, Mark. It's that pin we were looking at earlier in the day, that little gathering area if you get it just right on the 4th. Well, made a good bogey at the first. Here's a chance at the second for a birdie, and he's got it. What a couple of putts to hold on the first 2 greens. 5 under par.
Kisner's tee shot at the second. That looks to be absolutely perfect. Dogleg left. Hardly any run, and Kisner hits it pretty low. Now this is Spieth's putt right along the ridge and the grain split line. Can he get it right?
Gorgeous touch. He's got some lovely putts today, Spieth. Matsuyama missed a good chance at the first. This is his weak link if it ever has one.
Yes, it's less weak than it used to be, that's for
Yes.
sure, but that's a poor start, isn't it? Amazingly, Thomas has picked up one on Matsuyama on the first 2 holes. Now Stroud. Absolute beauty.
For his bogey. Brilliant, nicely done, but not the start he was after. 4-5, 5 under par. Well, there is how it is, the 99th PGA Championship. Early doors of the final round, the leaders out. So not much happening. Kisner, Matsuyama and Thomas.
Yeah, it's almost a waiting game for a few holes, and then 6 is a tricky 3, and then the birdie run begins between 7 and 15. Maybe far off being degreened.
Now that front right pin at the 15th is a dangerous one, but they've all got something about them. Hello? He's going to... not sure about this one, Mark. Seve-ish.
No, it's the easiest. For the club golfer, this is the easiest method of sort of playing left-handed, but I thought he might have fashioned something. Oh, that was a double hit, wasn't it?
Don't know. Heck of a shot.
Well, it looked very funny as it took off. Pretty good. Hard to hit it any further than that.
John Brown, 3 over for the round, and a great round of applause. I'm not sure if he was coming out the final hole. He might have taken his shoes and socks off if he was had a chance to win. Very light grip. Lovely looking stroke, beautiful rhythm.
Yes, only Kang's 2nd year on tour, so he's playing pretty well. Now, Kevin Chappell. He's reached the 16th. Pin way back on the right today. Oh, it doesn't stop him getting near it. Good shot.
Scott Brown. Beautiful greens these are, they really are. True as a driven snow. Has he hit it hard enough? He has, just enough pace. It was diving right.
Thomas at the 3rd. What's the power he gets from rotational speed there? A lot of power, not a lot of accuracy by the looks of that one. 177 ball speed, that is a lot. And he's got very lucky, off the trees, into the rough, and a good lie. So big break for Thomas.
Bunker up the right, there's the fairway narrows at sort of driving distance. And there's where the tee shots have gone. Generally, the people missing in the left rough have eventually, or 50% have dropped a stroke. Just 4 birdies, 4 red dots, maybe 5. 4, 8, 9 yards. 5th toughest, averaging at 4.2. Pin today, 17 on, 10 from the right. They always looks quite easy, but it's just a little bank there, and if you leak it at all to the right, the ball's taken off the green.
Oh, Kisner, both these players, perfect tee shots. Probably be glad, these two, that they're not with one of the crushers. Makes it a little more, you learn a bit more from your partner, don't you? If you're playing with a Johnson or a Day, it's sort of, it doesn't matter what they hit, you don't learn a thing.
No, a little bit of good fortune for him there. Yeah, I think if you're playing with a long hitter as well, it's easy to press. Always, when I played with Sandy Lyle, I was not trying to keep up with him, but I felt you ought to try and hit it a bit harder.
That was particularly silly in your case. Well, actually, Sandy still hits it miles. Amazing.
Let's just have a look at the early start of Matsuyama. Lovely tee shot at the first, beautiful second shot, little downhill, fraction from left to right. That puts a question mark in your mind right away. Instead of having a perfect start, and at the second, hits this one through the break. And in major championships, they have a way of, if you have a weakness, of just pointing out just when you don't need it.
Yeah, the pressure is immense. That's the longest sort of practice backswing on tour, I think. But he's played some good stuff this week, Stroud. Has he got what it takes? He's pretty pumped up. He put it over the green at the first. That's coming back helpfully. And not bad at all now.
Bermuda grass greens, quite recently relaid, which generally makes them a little firmer, but they're very fast. Fairly recent strain of grass. It's very, has the ability to cut it very tight.
Yeah, it hasn't settled down the grain really, has it? Still quite patchy. I mean, have a look at Stroud's swing. Wide base. Full turn. Lead with the hips. They will stop fairly soon as the upper half pulls through. And then after that, everything just moves towards the target. Not great extension, but it's not a bad swing at all, technically.
One of those putters that's been very popular, Jordan Smith, the 13th for a birdie.
His first major, not a bad effort, is it?
No, very impressive. Very impressive. Recent winner on the European Tour, the Porsche tournament.
James Hahn on the 11th.
Nice lie in the bunker mark, and this Augusta sand is very nice to play out of, and nice and firm, doesn't get too many bad lies.
That's incredibly white, isn't it? Pick that off, a treat. A little too well. Maybe a trifle thin. Just making sure he didn't get the sand first.
I'll give him a chance to see this pin at the 15th. Ryan Moore, his third shot, is laid up just far enough back so he can put a little bit of spin on it. Doesn't put too much, he'll spin it off the green. Oh, it's delicious. Been 7 on 4 from the right.
Thomas lucky off the tee, and he's hit it straight enough. So he got the distance, came out flying just over.
Coming off the fairway, Matsuyama, he'll be able to get his ball to grip. Stands over the ball a long while. Sweetly struck, very sweetly struck. Oh my goodness. Jeepers creepers.
That's pretty straight. Kisner. He hasn't holed a lot all week. He's had a lot of greens, Ken, hasn't he?
He's top of greens in regulation for the week. That means hitting a par 3 and 1, a par 4 and 2, and a par 5 and 3. And as a result, you're often having longer putts. And it's, of course, quite often a good shot is played away from the cup anyway.
That's very true. You'd have to delve into proximity to hole stats.
Yeah.
I think we'll draw a line under that.
Didn't hit many shots like this yesterday. He had a marvellous iron into the first, and this was, oh my goodness, I've seen that go in the past. I've also seen them ping off miles away. So he's on the back terrace.
Yes, or even into lakes. That happens occasionally, doesn't it? That's hideous.
It happened to me at Morality years ago when I was leading. I think it was on number 4, hit the flag and it went in the water.
Oh God! I was in top 3 or 4 at Doral one year and hit a seagull or something, and it went into a lake. It still hurts.
Yes. Louis going along steadily. Bogey the first, and looks like 3 pars to follow. Chris Stroud has been one of the best putters this week. He's had a lovely touch. Nice rhythm to his stroke. Lovely tick-tock rhythm down the slope here. Oh, it's a good effort. It's a marvellous effort. Oh, my goodness. Did well to miss.
It did incredibly well to miss. I'd change that ball immediately. Wow. That was tough luck. Well, Kisner will have a little one to maintain his 2-stroke lead. Here we look at it again. Rolling perfectly with that line. That is really well cut, tight Bermuda, isn't it? It looks really good to putt on.
Spieth, Jordan Spieth at the 18th.
Oh, didn't do anything. Now I play the mud and it just comes out normal.
I don't know whether he had mud on the ball. There was a lot of squawking going on.
He's done that a number of times. He should have a microphone. He could explain to us what's happening every shot. We wouldn't need to talk at all, would we?
A big putt for Kisner. Sweetly hold, going on his merry way. That was hard to believe that didn't go in. There's looks got a 2-stroke lead. Kisner over Stroud and Matsuyama and Thomas. Ryan Moore coming through the field, got a chance at the 15th as well. Brooks Koepka. US Open champ, won so well at Erin Hills. All in white, but if he laid in the bunker you wouldn't see him. Ian Poulter playing with Spieth. On chase that little bank to come up. Now we'll just watch where this finishes if we stay with it. Oh, we didn't. So that could have easily come off the green. Matsuyama. Oh.
I don't know if he'll feel aggrieved or not about the second shot, but it probably would have been a bit closer.
He does look like the type of golfer. Every shot is a single shot, touch of the Bernard Lang, as he doesn't look like he gets overexcited or over angry.
No, this is another guy like that, Kisner, isn't he? Actually, Stroud as well. There's quite a few of them at the top this week. Fraction right. Can he reach that trap? Yes, I think so. 300 yards to the bunker on the right. This is a guy who can get somewhat excited.
Virtually dead straight this third hole. One of those little soft cuts. He wasn't trying to get it out there a long way, but just get it into play.
Spieth, after slightly wayward second at the last hole, playing a long runner and playing it very well, but just misjudged the line. So he will not be overly pleased with that. We watch the clouds attempting to build. Kisner 2 ahead of Matsuyama and Stroud. Group on 4 under Oosthuizen, Thomas and Murray. At the moment, it's whether or not Kisner can stay up there. His nearest challengers nearly all over par. Maybe a little more breeze today, Ken. The flag's fluttering a fraction.
Yeah, in the open areas, I noticed at 16th, which is by the pond, there was a bit of movement. I mean, it's not going to blow you over, and it's very hot. It's a sort of welcome breeze. Hello. Benan. Well, that's crook. My goodness.
Give me a 3/4 one. Yeah, you got it.
Little hollow there that does gather the ball up, but shove that straight, almost a semi-shank. To the final par 3, and Koepka back tee today, 221 yards. Oh, that's a magnificent shot. That's an absolute gem and a half. Ricky is caddy. What a dynamic duo they were at the US Open. Here's a look at this year's major winners. Sergio Garcia, he buttoned up the green jacket, his first major championship, and we're all delighted over here in Europe that he did it. Brooks Koepka, the up-and-coming American player. He started on the Challenge Tour, went to our European Tour, and then played in America. And Spieth. He's done it, has he? Oh, ball did roll off the green and went up against the fluff there and chipped up to here at the 18th Poulter.
Yeah, you were dead right, Ken. So that's a 5 at the last for Poulter. That was bad luck. Round of 69, he finishes +1, currently in 24th position.
Chris Wood, easily recognisable. Just a short iron into the longish par 4. 11th, and gets it on the right level. Good breeze helping it to sort of check on.
First look at Cooch. He's made it all the way to the 14th, even par for the championship. This would be his 3rd birdie of the day and get him into the red zone. Oh, sneaks it in the right edge, so almost into the top 10 at -1 for Cooch.
15th to come. If he made an eagle there, you never know, Mark.
Absolutely. Look off into the distance. I think that's looking north to central Charlotte. Blue Ridge Mountains would be off to the left, the west. Thought the blimp was in danger.
Little bank there. Oh, he's just cleared it. That's the thing. If you just miss the little gathering area, it's like going into a washhand basin. With the sink plug hole as the hole, he's just gone over that. So it's a tricky old putt from there.
Stroud at the 3rd. Perfect position. Pin back right. Gone down the shaft of something for take a few yards off the distance the club goes. Oh, that was a wonderful stroke.
Thomas going to hit the ball miles in the air. Flag on the direct line, about 4 yards. He's got to land it on. Has he got it in the sink? He has. Very well played. 4th hole, playing 169 yards today. Jimmy Johnson, the caddy there, used to caddy for Nick Price many years ago.
Push tee shot for Kisner, out of the bunker. Oh, that looks just about at the pin. Oh, but didn't get the distance. Maybe just a fraction heavy. That'll be a long, difficult chip. Up a slope.
Just in a fluffy bit of sand where someone's quite recently raked it.
Yeah, it's just sitting down a fraction, isn't it?
Very steady and clips it away. Yeah, he did catch a fraction of sand before the ball.
That was a lovely action. Those arms straight after impact, ahead of the club head. Beautiful swing. Looks better in slow motion than in reality.
Molinari, 7th after a poor day yesterday, and Francesco has moved to 4 under par. Matsuyama over a little sort of cape in the green, and then down the other side. So slow then.
Yeah, it's into the grain and then down, isn't it? Not easy. Actually, it wasn't that quick, was it, on the down grain bit?
Yeah, just very difficult to get that just right.
Kang. 344 yards today, the 8th. Just laying up into position and playing a stunningly good pitch. Perfect spin control. Just letting the ball right up the club face.
Louis. Oh, misreading that one fractionally, Louis Oosthuizen. That's what faces Kisner. Pin 7 yards at the top of the little rise. It depends where he wants to land. He can fly over the rise or just land it short of it. Up and over. Oh, nicely played, very nice. Clipped it away off a tight line, never easy.
Yeah, quite a bit uphill too. Now Thomas for birdie at the 4th. Patchy grain. Nope, didn't move at all.
He thought it was turning. It looks like it ought to turn with a slope to his right, but went straight on. '18th, Jordan Spieth. '69 for Ian Poulter. He finishes 1 under par. Jordan Spieth 70. 37-33, good back nine, finish on a couple over par. Didn't quite manage the careers Grand Slam, but here are the players that have managed to do it. Of course, they are the greats of the game. It's the Holy Grail. Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, what a player. On the Open in 1953 to finish the Grand Slam. A great Gary Player, 9-time major winner, 29 years of age. He managed to do it. Jack Nicklaus, the one and only, and Tiger Woods. 2000. He managed to hold all 4 of them together at one time. That is just beyond belief.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Stroud. Lovely second shot. Of course, we all want to know whether Matsuyama can be the first Asian to win one of the Grand Slam. That would be immense for him.
Grayson Murray, oh, got deceived there.
Yeah, of course, Matsuyama would be the first Japanese to win a Grand Slam event. Wai Yang won this championship a few years ago, so apologies to Wai if he's sitting at home in London.
Suits Matsuyama's shape, just going to cut it a little bit round the dog leg. Is it coming? No, he doesn't like it. Touch and go. Oh, needs a break. Oh, doesn't get one at all.
Looks like they've raked the sand up a bit. The balls are nestling a fraction.
Kisner, after a lovely pitch at the third, this would be a real momentum keeper, and it didn't look like it was going to go anywhere else. That is a gem of an up and down. Delightful. Retains his lead.
Yeah, par golf for Kevin Kisner. He's still out in front by 2. Those in the chasing pack, Matsuyama, Chris Stroud, a bogey for each of them today. Francesco Molinari, Sung Kang, though, they're moving in the right direction, both 2 under par today. Grayson Murray, that double bogey, he's dropped back to 2 under for the championship. Jordan Smith, an excellent round for him. This is his major debut. He's 3 under today, 1 under for the championship. There's Jason Days, not been able to recover from that quadruple bogey on the 18th yesterday. He's still level par alongside US Open champion Brooks Koepka and Paul Casey, the highest placed Englishman. There's Chris Wood, the tallest man on the European Tour. He's level for today, 1 over for the championship. Jordan Spieth in the clubhouse, we saw him finish off. He's 2 over par today for the championship. Keegan Bradley, a former winner, one of those on 3 over and in the clubhouse. And Torbjorn Olesen, he was the leader after day 1. And he's right down there on 3 over as well. Here's Ryan Moore, putting for birdie on the 16th.
Thank you, Hayley. I won't get many better opportunities at the 16th to make a birdie than that. Part of the Green Mile, the finishing stretch of holes 16, 17, 18. Lingmouth. Bogey putt, the Swede. God, that really sickens you. So he's playing those final 3 holes, bogey, par, double bogey for a round of 77. Finished a 9 over par, playing with Olesen, a first round leader. He finishes on +4 for the 72 today. See these streams, they're all man-made, and yet they look so natural. Quick, stabby-looking putting stroke. Looks like Billy Horschel to me. Sometimes when they come straight to somebody from nowhere, you don't know what hole they're on, and it's not always easy to identify them. Richard Sterney, welcome back into the box, Mo.
Well, nice to be back, and I think we've got a treat in store, but it's fairly brutal out here for these players. It's a bit of a war of attrition against this golf course. Lovely shot there by Sterney. It's not a course you set out to make birdies on. You just annex your pars, you hoover them up, and you take anything else that comes your way. It's going to be last man standing.
Yeah, I think it is. Doesn't look too cloudy. It looks like we're going to be all right for a little while. You can never tell here. They just can bubble up from nowhere, the thunderstorms. Magic crowd out again today. Quite hot, when I say quite hot. In the high 80s with a tremendous humidity as well. Looking back down the 18th. You've seen a bit of action up here this week, Maureen.
Well, we certainly have, and you know that when you look back there at that landing area for the tee shot, it looks quite generous, but the players don't get that good a view of it. Mostly they just see the bunker right and the creek. It's very cleverly designed.
Sean O'Hare taking a shot at the back pin. Oh, it's beautiful. Anything leaking more than a yard left of that gets gathered into that horrible fluffy rough. Superb shot.
Henrik Stenson's been moving along almost unnoticed. Yes, pops that one safely home. He's had a quiet week, but he's still hanging around. It's hard to know how far down the leaderboard to go at the moment before you start counting people out completely, because we've seen how quickly shots can be picked up, but oodles of them can be squandered. As we go to Kisner on the 4th. No real view of this putting surface. Those 3 bunkers are set up a little bit. And that's just missed the little basin that Ken was talking about at the top of the programme. He knows it.
The 6th and the luscious swing of Louis Oosthuizen, playing 230 yards this hole today. Par 3. Oh, nice. It doesn't often bounce from there. Normally it digs in and runs way down off the front of the green, so a break for Louis.
Justin Thomas hanging lie here on the 5th. Absolutely rips through it. Lovely one, just settle there. Yes, just got it up onto the right little section of the green. Good birdie chance.
Par every day for Chris Stroud at the 4th. Slightly higher flight. Yes, absolutely flushed it. Right in the perfect spot. Little upslope, killed it. And he's left himself the easiest yarder on that bit of the green. Virtually straight uphill, maybe a hair from the right.
Matsuyama has to get this one up fairly sharpish. Got to get the ball first, not get a grain of sand.
Come on, Decky! Looks good, looks good.
Well, it's from one patch of sand to another.
James Hahn. Lovely setup. Gives us a chance to see where the flag is. Looks fairly central. Well, I say one of the slightly easier spots. He's just gone 5-6 double bogey to be at 2 over. Sean O'Hare playing with Kevin Chappell. Kevin Chappell hopefully brushing this one in. 71 for him, level par. Finishes on +3, which currently is tied for 36th. Just realise how close that stream is to the left of the pin. 6 big strides and you're on the riverbank, left of the flag. I think it's easy to see, Maureen, that this is uphill, but picking how much it's going to break is a little bit more tricky.
Well, I was just thinking there that, you know, it looks so simple on the screen. The screen tends to flatten everything out. It's why people, when they go to Augusta, they're always so surprised when they see the rolling hills, because you just don't get that feel of it from just watching on television. These greens here are a little similar to that. Lots of burrows. And he's giving this one the full treatment. He's level par for today. He's 3 over total.
And he's anticipating as he's aiming his putter to the right, as if there's quite a significant turn from right to left. I know there's a little, but let's just see how much there is.
Well, it seemed to come off the blade a little bit left as we go quickly to Kisner. Well, nobody has putted better than this man. He's leading all the important categories today.
Now he's going to flip this one up pretty quickly and land it softly. Trying to scoop under it. Yeah, not bad. Just caught a little bit more sand than he would have liked, but well played. Some of these bunkers around the greens are a little bit deeper than they looked at. Chris Stroud.
Big move for Chris Stroud. Wonderful two there. Gets him back to where he started the day. He'll have settled down now after that. Finds himself well into his round now as we go quickly to Justin Thomas.
He's a bit like Jordan Spieth. Once he gets his eye on this fellow, he can cannon from everywhere. Scored 60 earlier in the year down at the Sonny Open.
Oosthuizen holds a lot of this length. Not this time. Goodness, we're seeing a lot of putts coming out. It's very seldom you see the professionals fail to hit the hole so often from, you know, 10 or 15 feet. We've seen a lot several inches wide. And Matsuyama steers that one home.
He doesn't look quite so assured on the greens this morning.
Kuchar playing with a young Englishman, Jordan Smith. A lovely shot. The birdie machine that is Matt Kuchar looks as if it might be kicking into gear again.
Graham Dillett. This is a real birdie opportunity, this 7th. Trying to cut it into the front right pin and does it very nicely. Look where the flag is cut. It might gather from there. It might gather. Go on. Like the 13th at Augusta. Go on. Very nice. Only six, if you go in a direct line, there's only 6 yards over the water to the flag, and see none better than that.
There's a look at what's going on. Kevin Kisner has been up at the top of that board ever since Thursday morning in that opening 67, and he's still there. I wonder if anybody is going to be able to topple him. Sung Kang has played a tidy 9 holes. Oh gosh, I thought he had that. It's going to be out in 34 though, 2 under.
Chris Wood. Nicely done, good par at the 12th. $14 and $15 off or something, so you can get amongst it. Certainly getting to the top 10 with a good finish, Chris Wood.
Runner-up in this year's US Open. What a good season he's having, Brian Harman. He's +1 for the championship.
Par at the 16th for Zach Johnson. Seen plenty of putting.
Where'd you guys sit there, 5?
Big long march up the hill to the 17th tee with plenty of things to think about. 17 today, 221 yards.
Kevin Kisner's lead is by 1. Chris Stroud picked up a birdie there on the 4th to move to 6 under par. A little further down the leaderboard, Ricky Fowler, he was one of the favourites coming in this week. He's level today through the front 9 and 1 under for the championship. Paul Casey level today, and there's Ian Poulter, 1 over par for the championship. His best round of the week, and he caught up with Rishi.
Ian, if you don't mind, we'd just like to start off if you could take us through what happened on the 8th hole today.
Shame we're not going to highlight all the good stuff. We're just going to
will.
talk about
We will.
all the mess up on 8. Just hit it way right, yeah, they didn't find it. So, mess up, start to finish, mess up.
Well, let's talk about the good stuff, because it's an excellent way to finish this week.
Yeah, it was. It was okay. I haven't driven it well at all this week. In fact, it's been really poor. Hit 4 fairways day 1, hit a few more on day 2. Yesterday was okay, and today started off great, and then right from that tee shot on 8, everything was going right. So just kind of limped in, basically. I had chances there, hit what I thought was a great 5-iron out the bunker on the last, and it didn't quite get over the ridge, and it just trickles off and runs up against the edge of the rough there, and obviously drop a shot. But I had it going. It was a nice run. Shame I couldn't make any more headway.
Obviously, there's still plenty of golf to go this season, but you've just had 2 good showings at 2 majors. Given where you started earlier in the year to where you are now, how proud of the work that you've put in?
Well, from the start of the season to where I stand right now is miles apart. From a mental standpoint, from a playing standpoint, I feel like it's kind of, the old me is kind of back, which is nice. I can be aggressive today. This week was a disappointment. I'm walking away from this week, needing a break, needing a bit of a rest, and refresh for the playoffs. I've never gone right the way through the playoffs properly. I'd like to do that this time round, which will be ironic compared to how I was standing 4 months into the season. So with all that in mind, I'm in a decent frame of mind.
It's nice to have the old Ian Poulter back. Thank you for talking to us.
Thanks, you're welcome.
Cheers, Ian.
Always nice to hear from Ian Poulter. 74, 71, 71, 69. Pretty darn good week for Ian Poulter, I'd say, particularly if you're not driving well.
Yes, and I think even there, listening to his interview, you can see the frustrations, the players having to battle the heat themselves, the greens. It's a tough mental test out here.
They like it behind the tee. Matsuyama seems to be rather proud of it himself. Another cracking iron shot. His iron play on day 2 was just amazing. Time and time again he hit it inside a flag stick. So another good one there at number 6.
This is the most tightly bunkered landing area on the golf course on 5. As Kisner just leaked it right. Oh, might be all right. Not sure how much we trust the graphic as we go to Justin Thomas. 230 yards, the 6th is playing today, a little bit downhill. Good looking swing, good balance. And another fine shot in there by Thomas. These two peppering the flag.
Eagle chance for Dillette, and he's got it, hasn't he? Oh, I can't believe it kept turning away from the water. Normally the land lies towards the water. It seemed to turn up the hill, so opportunity missed after a fantastic second.
Well, Matt Kuchar is having the best round so far today. He's 4 under for today, and another one finds the cup. And you never know, it might just be a case that somebody posts a score, 40 minutes, 50 minutes before the final groups are due to finish, because with that green mile threatening, you can just throw shots about like confetti.
Looking down on the course gives you an idea of how the holes are set out between the big tall trees. Patrick Reed also going nicely today. He's holed a few nice putts, and another one pops in the cup. I watched him at the Open Championship. It was our studio looked at over the putting green. He was out twice late at night putting at Royal Birkdale. Looks like he's found a bit of putting form this week.
Yes, well, he's one who's never had a top 10 finish in a major. Neither has this man. Oh, that's a great shot. Now, this time last week, Chris Stroud wasn't even in the field for this championship. So he's donned the winning outfit from last Sunday. Who says professional sportsmen aren't superstitious? Kisner always marks his ball with the coin with the head up on it. Did you have any superstitions, Ken?
Yeah, they were sort of periodic though. when it started to work, I used it. Then once it stopped working, it was discarded. Ball below his feet here. He made a nice contact of going at the flag. Will it make the carry? Oh, too much. Fortunate there that it just stayed out of the thick stuff. In his endeavour to clip it away cleanly, of course, you hit it a little bit thinner, bound to bounce out.
Jordan Smith, he's having a wonderful first major, playing alongside Matt Kuchar. Oh, stunning shot into 16. No drop shots for Jordan Smith so far today. He's had 3 birdies.
A little valley in the green here, so Stinson putting up a rise at the 12th. Par at 12, always good. It's the second hardest on the hole on the golf course. Only given away a couple of birdies today.
Now Fowler got himself in good position to have a look at this flag. 464-yard par 4. Second is slightly uphill. Back right pin. And that's pretty good. They can really set this course up differently day to day by changing the tees and the different hole locations, but at the greens you can either have them playing hard or extremely hard. There have been a few little murmurs from the players that they feel the test has been too severe. One of the critics was Webb Simpson, who's actually got a house on the 7th hole, and he's a member here, and he voiced his concerns.
Kisner just settled down a bit more than I thought. Back foot with a sort of pitching wedge. Uphill to here and then down the other side. A bit quicker from here. Not too bad.
This is a real roller coaster of a putt for Louis Oosthuizen. Was runner-up in the Players' Championship this year.
From the top plateau down the tee here, he's bobbled a little on him. He thinks he's not going to make it. He's doing well though. Very well. I think when he struck it, he thought it left it quite a bit short.
Well, it's well he strolled, otherwise he'd have been at the hole before the ball.
Yeah, just bobbled a little on him. Still a birdie, the simplest of birdies. That'll move him to 5 under. Now, when you look what's going on, I mean, 5 under could be a winning total. Who knows?
Stroud. This to join Kisner in the lead. Oh, just dribbled at the end. He's an interesting character, Chris Stroud. He's a Texan. One of his mentors he cites as being, his name, Jackie Burke, that's right, the former Masters champion. Yeah, that's a good guy to have on your side.
Birdie chance for Matsuyama. Not much in this, maybe a hair movement. Oh, just enough pace. Well, hey, a birdie at last, moves to 6 under, 1 behind, a lovely 2 at the 6th, doesn't give much away.
Now Kisner trying to keep himself in the lead. Good chip down from the back of the green, little tester. Oh, he's been magnificent. He's the only player in the field so far who has not 3-putted this week. That's quite some stat.
He held that really well. You could see the broken edge of the cup to the left. It would have dived left hard if it hit it softly. Never finished in the top 10 of a major. Best performance was 2015, where he tied 12th at the US Open. Look how close the water is beyond the flag too. He's at the 18th.
Fine round of golf from Koepka. That'll be 69 for him when he taps that in. That would be level par for the championship. He looks a complete player to me, Ken. He's very impressive.
He's very impressive. I walked round with him on the course at Erin Hills when he won the final day, playing with Tommy Fleetwood. My goodness, he hit some fantastic shots. Under real pressure too, some tricky ones.
Brian Harman on 17. Monstrous par 3 today, 221 yards. Oh, wonderful golf shot. Just drawing it off the water, that's exceptional.
Nice to see Richard Sterney back in action. He's been plagued with all sorts of injuries over his career, but what's this for a simple swing?
Oh, down, down, down.
So simple, a lovely shot, crisply struck. Go on, from his end he thinks it might be going to go in, but isn't quite. 16 playing a little easier with that pin and the wind off the left, the water not so much in play.
Paul Casey. Very lofted club in his hand here for the shot into 11. Just tugging that one away. And Ryan Moore. Very recognisable posture. Oh, he's got it on the right level at the last. Playing well, 3 under for today's round.
Ricky Fowler almost has something orange on the final day, and orange trues today. Par at the 11th and 1 under for Ricky Fowler. We've had some heavy rains early in the week. The fairways are flooded. Friday it absolutely tipped it down with rain for a little while, which softened the course as it was getting very hard. It's made it a little bit more user-friendly.
Harman for birdie. In she goes. He moves to level par. Lovely run. 3 birdies in the last 4 holes. So it can be done.
Now, sky's looking a little grayer. The forecaster who was speaking to Rishi, suggested that we might get lucky. It was going to rain a bit later on, 8 o'clock, hopefully after play's finished.
Perfect tee shot from Hideki. We saw a few wayward ones yesterday, but we have seen some stunning iron play.
This is a discretion is a better part of valour here. Can he catch the little bank in the green, Maury? On the back little ledge where Louis Oosthuizen was putting down the slope.
Yes, he's always more comfortable going into right-hand flags, isn't he? I'm not sure the one on 17 is going to suit him too much.
Flatter flight, see how low Kisner hits it. Got to carry the little bluff at the front. Is he going to make it? He does, just, and couldn't have played that any better. Absolutely delightful shot.
Well, he certainly seems to be going from strength to strength. Now, what has Chris Stroud got in response? Well, that's looking pretty good. Oh, dead on line. Another ounce. Justin Thomas. Everything about that lie helps you just slide it in left to right towards the flag. Good shot. It'll be a treacherous putt, however. Yep, he's thinking about it already.
Oosthuizen and flicked it up. I'm spinning. Oh, unlucky. Not fair. Well, I wish something would happen. It seems a good shot, but nobody really grabbing it. There's Kang finishing off it. They're all hanging around par. Well, par 71, which is a monster anyway, but at the moment you'd have to think that it's odds on a playoff.
Molinari's not out of it yet either. Trying the bunker shot type shot out of this Bermuda. So difficult to get any control. It really is a bit of hit and hope.
Chris Stroud. He certainly isn't out of it. But it's going to be either somebody wins almost by accident. It's certainly not heavyweights going at it hell for leather. I know how frustrating it is for you at home to watch people getting out of bunkers, if you can't get out yourself, that is, because it's just so simple. You just turn, aim left, open the face and go whack the sand and out it comes. I know.
Now just let's have a look at this putting action. It's served him well so far this week. Oh, he read the putt so well.
Impassive though, Maureen, not a flicker.
Yeah, he keeps everything on an even keel.
He's bubbling inside though.
I bet.